Hi guys, and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Monica. I'm doing videos every single Monday. It feels really weird because I just got back after being gone for a year, and this is my first sit down talking Q&A with you guys. And once you step away from the camera for a little bit, it feels really weird. Like, it feels like you're new sitting here getting back into it. It feels a little awkward, not even gonna lie. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to be doing a Q&A. Raheem has the kids at the gym, so it's going to be super quiet. He usually takes the kids to the gym when he's off of work. I have a gym membership too, but I usually choose to stay home and eat, like, get things done, like whether it's like cleaning or prepping food or doing something like this, or I'll get a workout in myself. But Raheem and I work out differently. Like, I could do a 30 to 45 minute workout and be good, and Raheem loves the full 2 hours that he can get at the gym, so he usually takes the kids and they love it. Like, they love the gym daycare. They color, they play, they get to like interact with other kids their age, so I really like it. It works really well for all of us. So let's get into it. I asked on Instagram some questions because I figured this would be the best way to update you guys after being gone for so long. Oh, I didn't even mention I cut my hair. Yeah, my hair was so long and I cut it, and I really like it. It feels really good. It feels really healthy. I added some blonde to it, and this is where we are. I'm here for it. I like it. And I didn't get too many questions, which is kind of good because I didn't want this video to be too long. But first, before I answer the questions, I know some of you, like some of my subscribers, only follow me on YouTube. Some of you don't have Instagram. And even when I posted my most recent video, the recent day in the life, some of you were like, oh my god, you're back, like where have you been? And it made me realize that some of you probably don't have Instagram. And that's where I've been updating since I've been gone. So I wanted to kind of catch up a little bit for some of you guys. If you don't want to hear the catch up, you can skip to the questions, but I wanted to really actually open up about some things that maybe I haven't even shared some of these things on Instagram. But I basically wanted to come on here and tell you guys why I had to take a break from YouTube, and kind of open up about that a little bit. So we're going to start with that first. Okay, so basically, Raheem left for BMT and didn't come back for like 2 years, which was so, like, that doesn't happen. Unexpected, COVID, everything happened, and what happened to us was just really unfortunate. I've shared this before on YouTube, so I'm not going to get too much into that. A lot happened in the last 2 years, year and a half. I feel like our family took a really hard hit. So basically, when he left, I was 16 weeks pregnant with Nori. We moved 3 states in that time, from New York to Georgia, back to New York to New Jersey. I gave birth. I had Nori as a newborn, and I had 2 small little toddlers. Nori's 19 months now. And life got really hard. Mason got sick. I haven't shared that on my YouTube channel yet, but I've definitely shared it on Instagram. It's not something that I like to talk about, but I do. He got really sick. Just briefly, we all had COVID, and then a few weeks later he got something called Miss C. You can look it up if you want, but basically he almost died. And I hate saying that, but it's the reality, it's the truth. And after we spent 30 days in the hospital, and after that he still had, they wanted to keep us in the hospital longer to do PT and stuff, but I opted to come home. I really pushed to come home against all doctors. I don't think I ever said that before, but the doctors wanted us to stay and do inpatient PT. But me as a mom, I was missing my kids at home, and I knew that Mason would thrive at home. You all know your own kids, and I knew that if he could get in the environment with Nori Maddox and his mom like he was used to, it would have encouraged him. We reached this plateau in the hospital that was like he was checked out, like he was done. He didn't want to talk to anyone, and I knew bringing him home was what he needed, and it was 100% what he needed. But also bringing him home meant 5 appointments a week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now imagine that with a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a baby that wasn't even a year old yet. I think Nori was 8 months at the time. Things got crazy, and I never shared this before, but I really do suffer with some PTSD from this situation. I really believe I worry a lot, and I know that is something common for mothers to worry, but Mason being sick definitely changed me as a person. It changed my perspective on life. You don't know pain or hurt until you have a room full of doctors come in and sit you down all alone by yourself and tell you that they think that your 4-year-old is going to give up, and they try to prepare you and help you prepare yourself for the absolute worst. You don't know the, like, and I'm so blessed, so I hate saying these things. Like, I hate saying, like, oh, I worry, oh, I have PTSD, oh, this and that, because there's people out there who have lost a child, you know, and I didn't. I'm blessed. I'm so lucky, and I know this, and I'm so grateful. So I hate sharing it, and that's why I've never shared it before, but every single day, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think about something happening to my kid. When he brings home schoolwork, I don't want to throw it out. Even if he just writes his name on a paper, I don't want to throw it out, because I'm like, what if something happens to him tomorrow and he's not here? Do you know? And I didn't think that way before, and it's a serious problem that I'm having. Like, if he does something wrong and Raheem tries to put him in timeout or something, I'm like, we can't do that. He was on a ventilator for so long, like, and it sounds funny, like, it sounds like my brain is still processing what happened to him. It hasn't even been a year yet, but every day I sent him to school in fear. I didn't want to send him back to school this year because I'm scared that he's going to get COVID again, and I'm scared that the whole thing is going to happen. And every single day, I won't lie to you, I live in fear, and I think about my child dying every day. And that's just something that is, like, consuming me, and I probably need to go to therapy for or something like that. But I hate saying that out loud because I'm lucky, I'm blessed. He's here, he's thriving, he's healthy. We have a cardiology appointment a couple days after Christmas just to check on his heart, but the last time that we went, everything was perfect, which is crazy because even the cardiologist was like, whoa, like, they didn't expect it. They told me he probably would never be able to do sports again, like, in his life. So just, it's a miracle. Like, God has truly blessed us that he did a full, like, transformation back to a healthy almost 5-year-old child now. Some other things that I was going through when Raheem was gone was a lot of family problems, things that I can't share, privacy reasons, but a lot of family problems that I feel like my head was already barely above water, and then boom, boom, boom. Like, we just had a really hard year and a half. I've been trying to look at it, though, like, in a better perspective. Like, this year I'm grateful for things such as Mason did get better, my husband did come home safe, so I've totally tried to flip my perspective of things, but just, again, kind of trying to give you guys a gist as of why I wasn't on YouTube. And also, my little brother came and lived with us, and I was homeschooling him too while I had the 3 kids. Like, not virtual school, like literally physically homeschooling him. I took on the role to be his teacher and homeschooled him 4th grade. And I was so nervous about that because I was like, I am not a teacher, but turns out I did really good, and I bumped his reading score up like 3 levels, and he was struggling really bad and behind in reading, but I actually enjoyed homeschooling him. It was something that I liked to do, but just a lot of stuff on my plate while Raheem was gone. Anyway, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. It was just, I struggled a lot in motherhood too while Raheem was gone. Like, imagine being home with a newborn and 3 toddlers and being like, crap, like, we need milk, like, having to take them all out. There were so many COVID restrictions. If Nori had vaccinations, I couldn't bring the other 2, and it was like, well, what was I going to do with them? I was in a new state all alone. I did have help. I did have support. I found ways. I survived. I was in survival mode for like a year and a half, but we're here. We did it. Everything is back to normal. So yeah, let's get into the Q&A. Hardest part about being a military spouse. This is easy. I can answer this right away. And I think it's a little bit different for us because Raheem joined the military when we already had kids. We had 2 kids and we were pregnant with a 3rd, which is like, you don't do that, right? You usually join like right out of high school. We did things a little backwards. So I will say the hardest part about being a military spouse, hands down, is seeing your children go through heartbreak. I can go through the heartbreak. I can go without my husband. It's hard. It's really hard. But watching your kids cry at night for their dad and them not seeing their dad for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, it's hard. It's really hard. And it makes you second guess everything. Like, am I doing the right thing for my children? You know, like, watching them go through heartbreak, it's no different sometimes than a dad walking in and out. That's literally what it is. And Mason struggled a lot. When Raheem first left, it was mainly Maddox, because Maddox was a big time daddy's boy. But as like 6 months to a year passed, I would say Mason he's the oldest, so he was more aware of what was going on, and he knew his dad was in Turkey. But there would be nights that I put them to bed, everybody's sleeping, I come and get in bed, I'm watching a show, and here comes Mason at the door crying, like, I miss daddy. Why doesn't he want to come home and see us? And that's the hardest part. You have to like stay strong for your kids. And then we also had so many times where, like, oh yeah, he's coming home on the 13th, right? And you're so excited, you plan, you got outfits, you got food prepped. Just kidding, he's not coming home anymore. That happened to us like 3 times, and I learned that in this lifestyle, it's best not to tell your kids. It's best to just surprise them. Dad walks in the house, everything is hello, because you're setting them up almost to be let down. At least that's how I felt. So after a while, I didn't tell my kids that we were that Raheem was going to be coming home, and we were going to have a homecoming. Another question I got this one a couple times. Another baby. Okay, so this question is going to be all over the place. Are we having another baby? I don't know. Okay, I'm not sure. Before Raheem got home, I was on birth control. I said that on Instagram before. I was like, I do not want to get pregnant. I'm done. Like, 3 is my max. Nori is a girl. We had 2 boys, a girl. We always just wanted 3 kids, and that was it. But then Raheem came home, and everything is perfect, and we feel so happy and so in love, and we love being like a family and together. And we got into like talking about a 4th baby, and I want to say this lightly, because I don't like sharing this, because I don't want to take away from Nori, and you're gonna see why I say this in a second. When Raheem left, I was 16 weeks pregnant with Nori, and he missed the whole thing. He missed the pregnancy. We didn't get to take maternity photos. We didn't get a sprinkle or a baby shower. I love Nori so much, but we didn't celebrate her in any way. He wasn't there for the birth, and I'm not saying this as in like I'm taking away from Nori, but I feel like we were totally gypped of that being our last baby and soaking everything in, if that makes sense to you. And I hate saying that, because Nori is our everything, right? Like, she's just perfect, and she's here, and I soaked her in so much. She was my first little girl. But Raheem came home and she was 1.5, you know what I mean? Like, he missed the whole baby stage. He didn't see crawling. He didn't have to make babas. He didn't have to do anything like that. So I feel like he's ready for a 4th. Like, he hasn't experienced a little baby in 3 years, since Maddox was little. And then we kind of got in this family setting, and we're just so happy, and we're like, we could totally do a 4th. But we're also soaking in family time and like getting in a routine, which we did, because he came home in August. It's December. So with that being said, I stopped taking my birth control when Raheem came home, and we were trying August, September, October, November for like 4 months, but no luck. And that's not really a surprise to me. You guys know I struggle with infertility. But then just recently we got his like deployment, like future possible will be deployed during these dates, and now we're in that time frame of like, if we were to have a 4th kid, I would be doing it by myself again, and I am not up for that. I'm not going to do that to myself. I'm not going to do that to my kids, because you know, that takes away from them when he's away, and I can only give so much attention, and then I only have so much patience, right? So I'm not going to do that. We decided to stop trying, but it's also leading me to a feeling of like, if we're going to be in this lifestyle, there's never going to be a right time. If he's getting deployed or sent away every 2 years or so, he's either going to miss a pregnancy, he's going to miss a birth, he's going to miss time of the kid's life. I just feel like in the military lifestyle, there's never a right time to plan a baby. But as of right now, that's where we stand. We definitely do want a 4th kid, but we don't know. Like, it's just up in the air. We might not have one, we might have one, but I'm not open to doing it again by myself. At least not while they're this little. Maybe if I had like 2 out of the 3 in school, or all of them in school, maybe. But right now things would just be really chaotic. Speech and language. Okay, so this girl particularly, I know her, she's asking about Mason's speech. When I first started YouTube, I shared that he had speech delays. He actually didn't talk till he was 3 years old. But he's doing great now. He's still in speech, and he says things wrong, which I feel like is normal for a 4-year-old. Like, instead of Maddox, he calls him Naddix. So all of us kind of call him Naddix, which Raheem hates it. He's like, his name is Maddox, stop calling him Naddix. And what else does he say? He'll say like cockcorn instead of popcorn. So he's still in speech, but I think he's doing really well. And I think the key to that is early intervention. Mason started speech therapy at 18 months old. But Maddox and Nori, their speech is on point. Nori is actually way ahead. She's saying 3-word sentences. She's 19 months old and very much says and gets her needs across. Okay, I'm glad someone asked this because I get messages regarding this all the time. How did you know it was time for medication for your anxiety? I love this question because I wanted to share this on my Instagram actually, so you know what, this is even better. I decided to go on Zoloft. It's no secret that I'm on Zoloft. I swear they should sponsor me as much as I throw that out there. I decided to go on Zoloft when Maddox was right after my mommy makeover. Maddox was like 7 months old, 8 months old, I think. And this is why I love this question, because I didn't even know I had anxiety until I started researching, and I was like, let me just go to the doctor to see. Because when I think of anxiety, I think of, you know, up at night worrying. I think of being scared, panic attacks. That's what I think of when someone had mentioned anxiety previously, and mine looked nothing like that. Mine still looks nothing like that. My anxiety is more so on edge, anxious, impatient. I don't want to say rage. I'm not like a very angry person, but like I said, like on edge, like quick to anger, or quick, like just very much. A good example would be, imagine that feeling if you're running late for something and your heart is beating really fast and you're like, oh my god, I'm so freaking late for work or whatever. I was feeling like that, and sometimes I still feel like that in a constant state. I wake up and my heart is beating so fast, like what needs to be done? I'm moving 10 miles a minute, like. And what made me go on anxiety medication was my kids, how I was treating my children. I was impatient, like, Mason, come on, what are you doing? Put your shoes on, let's go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. All that was me at a constant. Why are you bouncing like that? You're driving me crazy. Like, overwhelming, like mean. I don't want to say, I'm not mean, like I never hit my kids or anything, but like frustrated, low patience level, things like that. And when I went to the doctor, I literally just said these things, like, you know, last week I was arguing with my husband because he decided to give my son peas instead of corn, and it was like a whole big thing. Like, what? I was just giving her examples of like my daily life and what I got frustrated over, and my main thing was just being so overwhelmed. But I was like this even before I had kids. It wasn't something that like my kids gave me, right? So she was like, okay, well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put you on Zoloft and we're gonna put you on Xanax. And that's what I've still been on. I hardly ever take the Xanax. Like, honestly, I probably have so many bottles in my cabinet just sitting there because I forget that I have it, because the Zoloft works really, really well for me. When Raheem was gone, I did take it a few times in stressful moments, but the Zoloft works very well for me. When I am dealing with anxiety, it consumes so much of me, like so much of my energy. You know, the rapid heartbeat, the constant thinking, just being at a fast pace, that it wears me out. Like within a couple hours, I'm exhausted. So when I take Zoloft and I realize how calm I can be, I actually said to my doctor, like, this gives me so much energy. And she's like, no, this doesn't give you energy. This is just your anxiety was taking a toll on you. So I advocate for Zoloft. It doesn't have to be Zoloft. I tried Lexapro, other things. Zoloft just works best for me. I'm on 50 milligrams right now, and I'm happy. If you can take a pill every day and it makes you happy, why not? Alright, so this is it. This is going to be the last question. Do you plan to vaccinate Mason? So, Mason's 4. He can't receive the vaccine yet. And the answer is I'm going to let his cardiologist decide. I'm going to guess it's a no from the research that I've done. Okay, sorry, my camera battery died. I had to switch out the battery, but like I was saying, I'm going to let his cardiologist decide. Raheem and I are fully vaccinated. I think it's a wonderful thing. That's really all I'll say on that topic. And that's it. That's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like if you're new, and I'll see you guys next Monday. Bye.